Jose Armando Resendiz isn't just showing up in Las Vegas to fight, he's coming to make a statement. With his bout against Caleb Sweet Hands Plant looming this Saturday, May 31st at the Michelob Ultra Arena, Resendiz says he knows exactly what needs to be done to leave the ring victorious. There's no mistaking his focus. The mission is clear: disarm Caleb Plant's slick offense and impose his own game plan from the opening bell. And Resendiz isn't walking into this fight blind. He knows the kind of puzzle Plant presents in the ring: sharp footwork, fast hands, and a style built around clean boxing and movement. But Resendiz has been watching. He's done his homework. He's looked at how David Benavidez broke Plant down with relentless pressure and physicality. That's the blueprint, and Resendiz intends to follow it to the letter. He understands that to beat someone like Plant, you have to do more than just box. You have to smother him, stay on his chest, and never let him breathe. What makes this matchup especially intriguing is the evolution Caleb Plant has been going through lately. At 32 years old, Plant seems to be embracing a more aggressive, gritty version of himself. He's no longer just the sharp, elusive boxer who won the IBF super middleweight title back in 2019. Since his knockout loss to Canelo Alvarez, Plant's been on a mission to reinvent himself, and it showed last September when he stopped Trevor McCombie in the 9th round. McCombie even had him down in the 4th, and for a moment it looked like the fight was slipping away. But instead of folding, Plant dug deep and decided to meet fire with fire, taking the fight inside and grinding out a win. That victory over McCombie gave Plant a confidence boost, and maybe a bit too much of one. Resendiz isn't exactly buying the hype. He's respectful, sure, but he's not intimidated. Plant is an amazing fighter, one of the elites at 168. Resendiz told reporters earlier this week. That motivates me even more. It makes me so happy because when you beat someone like that, it makes the win even bigger. But let's be real here. Resendiz might be playing the respectful card in public, but it's not hard to read between the lines. Deep down, he doesn't see Plant as some unbeatable force. Let's take a look at Plant's record after all. He's gone 2-2 in his last 4 fights. That's hardly elite-level stuff. If Plant really was the top of the food chain in the super middleweight division, he'd be walking into this fight on a clean streak, not trying to recover from bruises to both his record and reputation. And if he were truly the dangerous force he claims to be, he wouldn't need a fight like this to stay relevant. The fact that he's facing a lesser-known middleweight in Resendiz tells you everything you need to know about where his team sees him right now. Resendiz certainly isn't backing down from the pre-fight talk. When asked about Plant saying he plans to step on him, Resendiz didn't flinch. You can talk tough outside the ring, but once you step inside the ropes, then it's a completely different deal, he said. I don't care what people say about me because in the end, I'm going to prove myself as a fighter inside the ropes. That's all that matters to me. It's a confident, grounded response from a man who knows he's being overlooked and who's counting on using that to his advantage. Now, let's talk about the fights that have gone to Plant's head. His win over 39-year-old Anthony Dirrell was solid, but not earth-shaking. Dirrell was clearly past his prime, and the knockout felt more like a passing of the torch than a true test. Then there's McCombie, a fringe contender at best. Plant dominated, yes, but the real question is, what happens when he's back in against someone with youth, hunger, and pressure? Someone like Resendiz, who's still building his resume and has everything to gain and nothing to lose. Plant's never been known for his chin or his stamina. These are things opponents like Canelo and Benavidez have already exposed. And if you look closely at how Plant has been matched recently, you get the sense that his team knows those vulnerabilities too. That's why we're seeing strategic matchups, fighters he can beat while avoiding the truly dangerous names in the division. Jermall Charlo is rumored to be Plant's next potential opponent. Another name with a big profile but plenty of uncertainty. Not one of the hungry young guns. Not someone with the pressure style of a Diego Pacheco or even a David Morrell. What's clear is that this version of Caleb Plant isn't chasing belts. He's chasing dollars. Ever since his $10 million payday against Canelo in 2021, his career has slowed down. The fire that once fueled his rise seems to have shifted to something more calculated. He's playing the long game now, aiming for one more big payday, ideally a rematch with Canelo. And while there's nothing wrong with securing The bag, it's a very different kind of motivation than the one Resendiz brings to the ring. Resendiz is hungry. He's still climbing. And even though he's moving up from middleweight to take this fight, he's confident that his youth, pace, and sheer willpower will be enough to turn the tide. At 26, Resendiz has fresher legs, less wear and tear, and a lot more to prove. I believe in myself. I believe in the work I've done, and not only can I do all the same, but I can do even more, he said this week. In the end, I know I can disarm Plant in the way that he can be disarmed. We're going to be ready for whatever comes my way during the fight. And that's where this fight could get really interesting. Because if Resendiz brings the kind of relentless pressure that Benavidez brought, and if he doesn't give Plant any time to rest or reset, this could turn into a long night for Sweet Hands. Plant has always looked best when he's controlling the tempo, fighting on his terms, and dictating range. But the moment he's forced onto the back foot and pressured consistently, his gas tank and chin begin to show cracks. If Resendiz can expose those early, he has a real shot at pulling off the upset. Of course, the technical gap between the two fighters still matters. Plant is the more polished boxer. He's slick, moves well, and has great reflexes. But that's never been Resendiz's game. He's not coming in to dance. He's coming in to fight. He wants to test Plant's heart, stamina, and will. If he can get inside, make it ugly, and take Plant out of his comfort zone, this fight could shift dramatically in his favor. But don't think for a second that Plant will go quietly. He knows what's at stake. Another loss here doesn't just derail a comeback, it could permanently relegate him to the role of gatekeeper in a division stacked with young talent. That's not a future Plant wants. He still sees himself as a major player, and if he's going to prove that, he can't just win on Saturday, he has to do it in style. The stakes are high, and both fighters know it. For Resendiz, this is the kind of opportunity that could catapult him from solid prospect to serious contender. For Plant, it's a test of relevance, a chance to show he still belongs among the division's elite. And with both men bringing different motivations, styles, and mindsets into the ring, this fight has all the ingredients of a sleeper classic. As fight night approaches, the talk is heating up. The tension is real, and when the bell rings at the Michelob Ultra Arena, we'll finally see who's more than just words. Will it be the hungry underdog out to shock the world, or the seasoned veteran trying to prove he still has one more run? Left in him, one thing's for sure. Neither man plans to take a step back. And that means fans are in for a gritty, high-stakes battle where the winner walks away with more than just a victory. They walk away with momentum, relevance, and the right to call their shot in a packed 168-pound landscape. At the heart of this matchup is a simple but brutal contrast in styles. Resendiz's relentless pressure against Plant's slick, finesse-heavy approach. Plant loves to box from the outside, using his sharp jab, quick feet, and angles to frustrate opponents. But Resendiz doesn't come to dance. He's the kind of fighter who moves forward like a freight train, cutting off the ring and forcing his opponent to work every second of every round. And if there's one thing Plant has shown in the past, it's that he doesn't respond well when the pace gets uncomfortable. That's exactly what Resendiz is counting on. His entire strategy hinges on making Plant fight at a pace he can't maintain, forcing him into mistakes and gradually breaking him down, both mentally and physically. There's also the question of mindset heading into this bout. Resendiz seems genuinely hungry. He's talking like a man who sees this as the opportunity of a lifetime. He knows what beating someone with Plant's name value could do for his career. This isn't just another payday or tune-up fight for him. You can hear it in his voice. He's locked in, focused, and prepared to leave everything in the ring. For Resendiz, this isn't just about winning a fight. It's about earning respect, taking a seat at the table in the super middleweight division, and proving he belongs among the best. Meanwhile, Plant's motivation feels murkier. Is he chasing greatness or just another big check?